Welcome, everybody, to our next intentional conversation. And today it's a conversation about self trust, intuition, and like this feminine magnetism. And there's no better person that I would want to speak to than my friend Anne Louise Harbert, who is like an intuitive guide, mentor, and you founded a phrase and a tagline called bold elegance. And you are one of my greatest friends from back in the UK, so you're going to enjoy a little bit of the British accent today. And so I just want to first of all say welcome, Anne Louise. I would love you to just introduce yourself and give us a little bit of an insight to everything that you're working on right now.
Okay, thank you. I'm so excited that we're having this conversation. So excited. So I am an intuitive guide, a spiritual mentor, and I am able to channel in beautiful messages from the universe. I have an intuitive gift where when I'm talking to my clients, they'll say things and something just sparks in me, or I get a little nudge from the universe saying, this is where that particular client needs to do the work. Yeah. And most of my clients are between like 40, 50, 60 years old, and they've got to that point in life where they're not unhappy, but they're also not happy, fulfilled. They are often striving too much, often hustling too much, trying to find a feeling that they know is out there for them. They can't seem to find it. And they know the universe has great plans for them, but they just don't know what those plans look like or how to get them. And they're kind of in this spiral of doing more and feeling like they're exhausted, they're responsible for everyone. And I help them get to that point of just breathing and just going, okay, what do you really want? Like, really want? How do you want to feel? And how do we make that?
I love that. And I love that I've actually been one of your clients as well that's had one of the intuitive sessions. And it was one of those things that was unplanned, that you never know what's going to come through on that session. But it starts with, what do you want? And then the messages from that come from what that is. And I think from, in today's day and age is that we get so disconnected from ourselves, of not being able to listen to the messages that we're actually receiving. And just to be able to have that time with you when certain messages came through, like big light bulb moments came through, and we were able just to sort of like unpack that a little bit more. And so I would love to find out for somebody who feels like they've just disconnected with themselves a little bit, how can they actually reconnect and start listening that little bit more?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is from being in that busyness. Like, often we just get to that place where we've decided something at some point in our life. We're focused on that thing. We've got into that striving, achieving, looking for that fulfillment, looking for that feeling. And we haven't stopped and gone, actually, is this really what I want now? I made this decision 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and I'm a different person now. Yeah. So is this actually what I want? And also that disconnection comes from looking for the feeling, the connection from outside of ourselves. So is it that 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure? Is it the big project? Is it the high profile client? Like, is it that fit, like looking externally? Because we're taught as a society, aren't we, that the external things that are going to give us that fulfillment. If you have these things in your life, then you will tick the boxes and you're going to feel the happiness and fulfillment. And then you get to the sort of certain age, and this is my story. I was like, there's more for me out there. I felt very disconnected from myself, and there was like the persona of the person the outside world was seeing was so different to how I felt inside, and that I didn't actually really know who I was or what I wanted. And there was that realization of, I know I want more. I know there's more available for me. I'm so disconnected from who I am. I have been so disconnected from what I want that when we're striving and pushing, we don't take that time out to just be, to just breathe, to ask ourselves. And there's a real fear, I think, in this busyness of striving, a fear of stopping.
Yes.
I was like that. It's like, if I stop, everything's just going to crumble to the ground. Like, I'm responsible for everything and everyone. And if I stop, am I going to get up again? And two, everything's just going to fall. So we just keep going and going and going. And there's no point where we just pause and go, actually, I need to look at myself. And holding that mirror of truth up to yourself is not.
It's not easy. And it's also then giving yourself the time and the space to actually remember who you are, like the essence of every part of you, of like what's possible. And, you know, we always say that when you're born as a baby, you're born with just not knowing that you're not amazing and you're loved and all of these things, and then you go through your teens and you have this big vision and this big ambition and all these elements of it, and then life gets in the way and routine happens and expectations and all these things start to come to the table, and you often forget because you're living by the routine and that busyness. And so that remembering is a big part of everything. And I think it's like that's the beauty of where we are in life right now as well. I never like the term midlife women, but women remembering who we are and being able to step into what's next and what's possible. And so what do you feel about this remembering of who you are, what you want, and how and what is possible for you?
Yeah, I think we always know it. You know, I think we do. That's why we have that yearning for more. That's why we have that sense that we do have this sense of being unfulfilled. We do have this sense of striving for something, even though we don't often know what we're striving for.
Yeah.
And I think there is that remembering piece is when you actually come to that point of going, what I'm doing now isn't who I am, isn't fulfilling me. And whether that's in a business sense or a work sense or a relationship, but I haven't actually stopped and put my head up to remember who I am. And then also being in that, remembering who you are in that really unapologetic, hang on a minute, let me just remember for a moment who the hell I am and who I'm on this earth to be and the impact that I'm here to have and the legacy that I'm here to leave in this lifetime. And we're so busy with our heads down in the doing and a screen, we're scrolling at midnight, we're binge watching Netflix, like we're doing all the things and actually not taking the time to connect. So that remembering piece really is, it's not so much a remembering isn't who was I, but actually who do I want to be moving forward? Because one of the things that I'm able to do is tap into the energy of your future self. So there is this sense of who are you becoming and who do you want to become? And that remembering is like that soul knowing, because your soul knows who you're here to be in this lifetime. But we can't do that when we're in the busyness and the hustle and the doing and the screen all the time. And I'm a very, like, I was busy badge of honor. Like, do you know how busy I am kind of person? And stopping frightened the hell out of me. Like, if I can't pause, I can't stop. One, because I'm so busy. And two, because if I pause, I might have to actually look at how I really feel about myself. And I didn't want to do that.
That is a big thing, because it is when you stop to do everything else comes like the floodgates are opening, and it's like you just want to put it on the sidelines for a little bit. For that time, it's like, no, I just want to get through this. Well, insert your whatever you want to put in there, and you're always pushing it. But Jen made a really good point in the comments, and she's saying that we can forget to check in even when our bodies are screaming, like, pay attention. And you can still keep pushing it to the side, because you can be afraid of what you're going to hear if your soul is speaking. And I think that leads us into our conversation when we're saying about leading with the soul, because actually if you're leading from anywhere else, is like, what's the difference? Can you sort of like put or give us a little bit of an insight to what the difference is with leading with the soul and leading with something else?
Yeah, so when you're leading with your soul, it's like that inner knowing, you know, it's like that intuition, that gut feel that is always guiding you. And it's things like, you know, when something like really excites you, you have that feeling of excitement. your mind, your logical mind is saying, like, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But that bubble of excitement, that's leading with your soul, is following that, even when it makes no sense at all. It's about slowing down, like taking time to just be, to just breathe, to know that that's the space where you get inspired.
Yes.
You pause, and when you stop, it's not at the screen, it's not when you're hustling, it's when ideas come in the shower, it's when you're in the car, it's when you're not trying to force them. And it's like we said before, it's like, and showing up without that apology. It's really being in that place of, this is who I am, this is what I believe, this is what I want to share, this is the difference that I'm here to make, and really owning that without feeling that sense of, I should be doing something else, or I should be what my industry says, or what I was told to do, and actually following that soul-led, this is what I feel lit up by. Because the more we follow when we're lit up and excited, that's your soul, that's your soul leading you.
Yeah. And you say about activating your bold elegance. And so I'm guessing that that's a really good explanation of what you've just said there. Is there anything that you add on to what you're saying about having, like, activating your own bold elegance? Because that feels like stepping into your power and really owning your confidence and not being afraid from that. So what does bold elegance look like for you?
So the bold is being unapologetically you.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, most of my clients are women, and they've been told to behave in a certain way, or they've been told to not show off too much, don't be too loud, don't, just keep sort of quiet, keep in what you believe you're capable of. And bold elegance is, no, we're not doing that anymore. We're being unapologetic about who we are, and also what we're capable of. Like, so I think we dismiss so much. We are so strong. We get through so many challenges in life, and we don't look and go, actually, I was the woman that got through that. I was the woman that went through that moment, went through that experience, and I'm still here, and I'm stronger for it, and I am the woman I am today because of that experience. And it's being really bold in that, and unapologetic. Like, I think we apologize for too easily in our life, and actually to be, no, this is who I am, and this is what I'm going to talk, and also about how we're going to be treated as well. I think it's having that expectation that we will be respected, and we will be seen, and we will be heard. So that's the sort of the bold part. Yeah. The elegance is about that deep self-trust, so that refinement, that sense of alignment that we get. So energetic alignment and deep self-trust, when we have that knowing within us, that when we feel that soul message, or we feel that intuition, we feel that guidance from within, that we absolutely trust that. We trust ourselves, we trust the universe, we trust that good things are coming, that we trust that we know what those next steps are. And it's having that self-trust, is that kind of elegance, because the shoulders go down, we relax, because we're not trying to make something happen, we're not chasing something, we're actually in that place of, I know when I'm in that energetic alignment. I know when things just, like, they just seem to unfold. Like, it doesn't mean it's unicorns and rainbows. It doesn't mean that life is perfect all the time. But you have that feeling that things are unfolding for you, rather than you're pushing and striving for something, even though you don't quite know what that something is.
I love that. And I'd like to just take a moment for whoever is watching, and whether it's live or on the replay, and just have one check-in right now. And I just want you to sort of, like, what are your shoulders doing? Are they up, and are they hunched over? So can we just literally just take a moment to take a breath and do a little bit of a reset? Take a breath and literally just drop our shoulders for a sec, because we're in really good company. And I think that's what you're saying with this, is that having that check-in of, like, how are you holding yourself? Where is the tenseness, and where can you let that tenseness go? So let us know in the comments of like where your shoulders were and where they are now, which would be a good indicator of just being able to do a little bit of a reset and check in for yourself right now. And also, I'd love to know, because I feel like this is your area of expertise, of being able to tell the difference between intuition and fear? And is there a coincidence or comparison with the two, and what's the difference?
Yeah, they're two very different things.
Mm-hmm.
Your intuition is like your wise woman voice within. Your intuition is very slow speaking. It often comes from your sacral or from your heart. It's that inner wisdom. It's a yes or a no. Should I do this? Yes or no. Or it's a choice between two things. Is it this or is it that?
Yeah.
It's very slow. It's very wise. It comes from within you. Your fear is up here, and it's very, very quick. You can't do that because this is going to happen, and you haven't got the time, and you haven't got the energy, and you haven't got the money, and you're not ready. And what happens if you fail? And what happens if you're judged? And what will people think of you? And
it's like these shoulders are up here.
Exactly. That's your fear.
Yeah.
Your fear is so strong because your fear will want to keep you in the familiar because you're safe because it knows you're safe right now. So you're safe in the familiar. Anything unfamiliar, even though that unfamiliar is what you want, even though that is the next step, the next level, the thing that excites the hell out of you, your fear is all, even though your intuition's going, yes, 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 do it. You can feel the excitement that we talked about. Your head's going, no, it's absolutely not. It's change. It means difference. It means like you're going to be doing things we don't know that you're safe, and it will throw everything at you in your mind. So that's how you tell, like the wise voice, the slow voice, the yes or no, the this or that is your intuition. Really quick speaking and often louder, and it feels stronger, but actually your intuition is stronger. And your intuition is always guiding you towards something that is going to fulfill your soul, but it might not make sense. It might not feel like your logical brain. But if you can trust, so we'll talk about that, the elegance, if you can have that kind of trust that there's a reason you feel drawn to something, even if it doesn't make logical sense, that's when you start really stepping into that bold elegance and into that.
I love that. And also, as you were talking, it reminded me of a little trick that somebody who specialized in energy alignment was taught me. And she was like, if you're ever doubting yourself, did you know that your body is a complete lie detector test? It is either saying yes or it's saying no. And you can actually ask yourself questions and get your yes or no answer, which is the true essence of you. And I don't know whether do you know this trick where you take your thumb and this first finger, and you take this thumb and this first finger, and you link them together like this. And you can test it by just saying your name, and it would just say, is my name Sarah? And it would stay locked. And the more you do it, the stronger the lock for the yes stays locked. And then if I say, is my name Stacey, they'll come apart. And so whenever I was like questioning my answer, or questioning a decision, or questioning a thought, or anything you'll literally see me closing my eyes and going like, I'm doing this, and it looks like I'm just like playing with my hands, but I'm actually doing an energy test. So have you done that before? Have you seen? I've
heard of it before, and I think it's really good to, when you're thinking about that yes or no, or trusting your body, because what we tend to do is wait for those really big decisions in business and in life, and then go, right, what's my intuition telling me? With all this pressure, it's such a huge decision. Whereas if you are playful with your intuition, if you do, is my name Sarah or Stacey? Do I want pasta or pizza? Do I, like, when you start doing things where you're testing, whether it's the muscle testing like that, or whether you're just feeling how your body feels for yes, or how it feels for a no, or how it feels when it's this, or how it feels when it's that. And you're doing it when there's no pressure and it's not this big decision. When you come to make those bigger decisions, you already know, oh, that's a yes for me. That's my body saying yes, or that's my body saying no. And you already learn that, and you play with that.
Yeah.
And then by the time those big decisions come around, you really understand what your body's.
I think I do. And I think you test it and you play with that. And the other thing that you can do is with your hand, but you can also stand and you can have your hand on your heart and close your eyes and ask the same question. And if you notice your body move forward, that's your yes. And if you notice your body move backwards, it's a no. And I think that the more of us that can start to trust what our body and intuition and our inner knowing is sharing with us, the more that you're not going to look for external validation, for other people's answers, when the true essence of you knows exactly what you need to do in any moment. And that's where the confidence can come. That's where your authenticity can come, because you can just have conversations like this. Like, we're not scripted. We're not looking to, we're having a conversation which is our true truth right now, and that's where other people can trust it, because we have no hidden agenda. We're coming from good intention, and we're just sharing the love between us that hopefully everybody else can enjoy and take benefits from. And I think it's that of taking the fear away from all of that. And I think the other thing I'd love to ask you is for visibility, because obviously there's Substack lives are relatively new, and there's so many women out there that have been writing on Substack, and now all of these other areas are coming, from live video to live podcast to all of the things and it's all coming to visibility. And so for you and I, we're not social media crazy. We're more on the introvert level of an extrovert, but we can be an extrovert when we need to be. But visibility is a thing now, and I think that how can we step into our true selves with using our intuition, even when doing that feels so uncomfortable for somebody? How can you help somebody step forward into their visibility using energy and intuition?
That's such a great question. And I think, first of all, is let's accept that it can be scary to go through. Let's just, your human self is going to go, oh, this is like, I'm showing up, I'm speaking my truth, I'm putting it out there. What happens if people judge me? What happens if people don't understand what I'm saying? What happens if people laugh at me? What happens if I don't make sense? Like, all of the things that come in. And let's have like a moment to go, okay, that's quite a normal thing for my human self. And that's okay. Like, it's okay to feel. And the thing is, we do live in a bit of this Insta life, don't we, where it looks like everybody's really confident on camera. And like, I suppose for me, having this conversation with you, like with the dearest of friends, I feel like we're having a chat, like as if nobody's watching, but people are watching. So when you're your true self, when you have found that alignment with who you really are, showing up and being visible actually feels easier. Yes. Because when you're trying to show up as who you should be, or the industry says, or you need to show up in this way, you need to be lively, you need to be talking about this thing, you need to be showing up 400 times every 10 minutes, you need to like do all these things, and it just doesn't feel good for you, and it doesn't feel aligned. When you start going, actually, I'm just going to be me, and I'm just going to show up when my intuition says, go share that now. Go share that today, because that's really, because you're feeling really strong about it. You're feeling really good about it. You want to share, rather than, oh my God, what am I going to post about today? What am I going to go live about today? And it's like you're trying to fit into something, rather than actually, I'm just being true to me. Yes, you're going to have nerves. And yes, because if you're going to show up, especially if you've come from an upbringing of don't show off, don't be seen and not heard, stay in your box, that kind of thing. And now we're saying, no, be really unapologetic, really show up as you, be really true to yourself. It's going to feel like a mismatch. You're going to have this duality, and it's an acceptance of, okay, I'm nervous, but you know what? There's a person out there. If I do not show up, that person remains in that place of pain, hurt, uncomfort, distress, anxiety. When I show up, that person goes, oh my God, her shoulders go down, or his shoulders go down, because I have found the person who's here to help me. And if you don't do that, if you don't show up, I would say, if you imagine you're on a stage and the spotlight's on you, and you're like, oh my God, everyone's looking at me. If you imagine that spotlight turning around to that audience, and there's that one face of that person who just goes, I found my person,
Mhm.
about the person who's going to change everything for me, that's because you weren't visible. So all those nerves, yes, they're going to be there, but think of that person.
Mm.
Life is going to change because they found you.
Beautiful. It's so beautiful and so true. And I think there's two things that I'd love to enhance with that as well. Of that, when you're talking about visibility, is actually is showing up in a place where you feel safe with the people that you feel safe with. So this is an example. If I was just doing a live on my own for 25 minutes in, I would have been fumbling. I would have been like, it give me a script. I forget my words, but actually put me in an environment when we can have an intentional conversation like this. We sparkle, we shine. It's because it feels safe that we have each other. There's not going to be an awkward moment because we know that we could talk about this till the end of the day and even longer if need be. And so if you are wanting to be more visible, find your safety people that you know that you've got each other, and it's going to be okay, and you can do it together, so that you don't feel alone, you don't feel vulnerable, you don't feel unsafe in an environment in the way that you want to do it. I think that makes such a difference. And also, you also said something then about like how you do it and what you share. I just think the more that you can step into doing it the way that you do it, when you want to do it, instead of a template formula. So something that we've always prided ourselves on is that we will not show up if we don't have anything to say. Actually, when you show up, you have that as value. And I there's a friend that's just new to Substack, and she was saying, I was going to do a live, but I did something on Instagram and there was only 3 people. And I was like, but they were those 3 people that needed to hear what you were saying. Like, they were 3 people that you were standing in front of. Like, still show up, still do it. So I've said something today on my intention of the day of like, it's not about the numbers, it's not about the data, it's not about the metrics. It's people that are going to hear your words, and in some way you're going to either inspire them to do something for themselves, or you're going to empower them to think that they can do that too. And I think that's the part of visibility that is so needed, that actually, regardless of what industry you're in, that you have something that you have had in your life that you've experienced that could help somebody else along the way. And I think that's the point of being visible on here, sharing the note, doing the lives, and doing all of those things. And so I think that if there was, if you could give them one piece of advice from anything, whether it's energy, intuition, any of those things, if somebody was to leave this live today with one takeaway, with what they could do for themselves, what would that be?
So I think it's that first, when you wake up in the morning, it's setting your intention for the day. It's like, what do you say to yourself first thing in the morning? Because often before we even open our eyes, we're being critical. Or so mine was always, I'm so tired. Like, I haven't even got out of bed. I'm so tired. So instead, I paused on that and I was like, right, I have enough energy for today. Like, I have enough energy for today, because that just changed and flipped that first thought. So be very conscious and intentional about what you're saying to yourself first thing in the morning. Also, I know we know this, but try not to grab your phone. Try and just lie there for a few minutes, guilt-free. Just give yourself those few minutes before you start the day. Yeah. Be playful with your intuition, like we said. Don't wait until the huge decisions come. Mm-hmm. And then just leading on from what you said about finding, like, showing up for those 3 people. Never underestimate the ripple effect. Yeah. When you're showing up, because one of those or all of those 3 people listen to that person. I've heard something that's changed something in me, whether that's an energy shift, whether that's a mindset shift. So that person's going to be different from that moment on, and therefore the people they interact with, they're going to be different, and then so on and so on. So the ripple effect of showing up, even if there's one, it's not about the metrics. If there's 1 person, 3 people, 10 people, the ripple effect of what you're doing energetically as well is much bigger than you'll ever realize. You'll never see it potentially in your everyday, but if you are absolutely true to yourself and sharing what matters to you, and you just feel it with every cell of your being that this matters to you, you are impacting the world in a massive way.
It's beautiful. And Anne-Louise, just thank you. Thank you for sharing your wisdom so generously with us, and also the insights. It never feels long enough, but I want to keep these sessions very intentional and also respectful of everybody's time. And so I would just say to anybody that's watching, if you've enjoyed what you've watched today and you've got a message or a question for either myself or Anne-Louise, make sure you add them to the comments. We'll be engaging afterwards as well and following up with everybody. And if you've enjoyed it, make sure that you subscribe to either Anne-Louise and myself, that we'll be doing more things like this on our accounts, and maybe a chapter 2 of this, because there's so much more to unpack and uncover with all of this as well. And I just feel that I'd love to learn how everybody can stay in contact with you and what you do and where everybody can find you.
So you can find me here on Substack, and it's Insights from the Soul. You can find me on my account there. I'm on Instagram as I am Anne-Louise Harbert. So please find me on there, message me here on Substack. And yeah, we'll be in the comments. And please let us know what you've heard, what you've learned, what you feel has resonated with you. And we're here to support you.
We absolutely are. And we're looking forward to hearing your reflections. And just, if anything, if you tried out the energy test, let us know, or the forward and the backwards. Just sort of like, let's just stay connected. And I think that's the beauty of lives like this, is that you get to see who we are and what we want to talk about. And so, we want to know what you want to hear about and what resonates and all of those good things. But in the meantime, from both of us, thank you all for joining us today. And until next time, we just hope you have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye.